Another Raw, another Claymore, another vampire segment. Wait, what? I don't even know if that's PG. And unfortunately, people, the streak is over. For the first time in 2020, Brock Lesnar missed an episode of Monday Night Raw. Of course, people are quick to judge. Oh, you're the WWE champion, but you're not on Monday Night Raw. How dare you?
What kind of champion are you?
Brock Lesnar was taking care of his animals, damn it! We, the greatness community, support the Ultimate Farmer. Also, Matt Hardy is going to AEW. MVP almost became Drew McIntyre's manager, but that didn't happen because this guy doesn't want it. And if this guy doesn't want it, well, it's just not going to happen. And remember that pin animation glitch in my previous video? Well, that's exactly what happened on this episode of Raw.
We have a great passion for this. We love this.
Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Greatness of Raw, my favorite show of the WWE. What about NXT? Shut up, Mark. So let's talk about it, man. Not the best episode I've seen, but like I've said lately, Monday Night Raw is a decent show. So many cool moments. Now, as much as I enjoyed this episode, the issue I have is that I didn't really like the ending because it was boring. It was, well, WWE being WWE. It didn't tell me to watch the episode next week. Of course, I'll watch because I'm a mark, but you get the point. But let's start from the beginning of the show. The show kicks off with Seth Rollins, the AOP, and Murphy. I'm kinda glad they changed the name. Buddy sounds like your dog. Seth Rollins talks about how he's frustrated with Kevin Owens and his friends, and he says they aren't leaving the ring tonight until their message is heard. Kevin Owens interrupts. They argue until Kevin Owens brings out the Viking Raiders. We got a brawl, and turns out Samoa Joe is actually back as well. He attacked them from behind, so this guy isn't suspended as the rumor speculated, which is obviously a good thing. The babyface team stands tall, and oh boy, we cannot wait for the 8-man tag team match. That's what we wanna see. No sarcasm. I don't have a problem with this storyline. I think it has some good moments. I just feel like if this rivalry only had Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, it wouldn't change a damn thing. Anyone but Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins don't feel important at all. Then we got a Raw Women's title match, Asuka versus Becky Lynch. Man, the unpredictability in this one. Obviously, that's not a problem, that's not the issue in kayfabe. It should not be predictable, obviously. You know, who's gonna win the match? Wrestling's real. Anyway, you get the point. You guys know my opinion on Becky Lynch lately. I'm kinda tired of it. She's not the same Becky Lynch we had when she started this whole man gimmick. It felt real. It didn't feel like it's written by a shitty WWE writer, and that's why I liked it. Anyway, Becky Lynch hits the rock bottom and wins the match. She raises the belt in the air until WWE NXT superstar Shayna Baszler suddenly attacks out of nowhere. So I'm like, okay, this is fine. This is happening at WrestleMania and I'm very, very happy about it. Obviously, we knew it's going to happen because of Survivor Series. And then I'm like, oh, wow, that's the first. I don't even know if Gangrel did it. And that was his gimmick. Here's why I like it. Obviously, it wasn't real. Duh. There are a couple of things that I liked about this, and a couple of things that I didn't. So first thing that I did like is that they decided purposely to use color on WWE television on Monday Night Raw. It's rare that you see something like that purposely on WWE TV PG programming. That sounds weird. What I didn't like is that Becky basically no-sold it. Yes, she was screaming, you know, it hurts. She kinda swore a lot, but at the end of the day, she was like, I'm fine. Bruh, you should be in the hospital. At least act like a vampire, I don't care. It depends on the way you look at it. I mean, in a way, she should act like a badass, but I feel like she kinda crossed the line a little bit. But man, something like this being used on WWE television, I was shocked, man. That was a very good spot. Then of course we got the highlight of the show, Mojo Rawley and my boy Riddick versus the Street Profits. Obviously, the Street Profits won the match very quickly, and after the match, Riddick decided to pin Mojo Rawley, and he became the WWE 24/7 champion. The referee took like, I don't know, 20 seconds to get to the ring. Man, this was basically just like in my video that I did a couple of days ago, where it glitched. So, I don't know, man. So, it seems like Riddick is a champion right now. The first title he won in the WWE. I've heard some good stuff about the guy. Like, he was very impressive in the WWE Performance Center, and a lot of people saw a lot of potential in the guy, so we'll see what's going to happen. Maybe WWE decided to use the guy in a bigger way. I had no idea that MVP has a show. Well, he has one, and it was actually pretty good, man. That was the best thing MVP did ever since he came back. I'm not quite sure whether he will be there next week. Most people say that he's not actually signed with the WWE, but you never know. Honestly, I didn't expect this segment to be that good. So he's talking about Drew McIntyre. We got Drew McIntyre. He's acting like a badass. Drew is the biggest babyface right now, and at the end of the day, as long as it works, I'm fine. I love Drew McIntyre. Anyway, so they talk about Brock Lesnar. They talk about history between these two. I'm not quite sure what kind of history they're talking about. Probably TNA. I'm not quite sure. But basically, MVP suggests that he should be Drew McIntyre's manager, just like Paul Heyman is for Brock Lesnar. Drew McIntyre is not feeling it. The crowd is not feeling it as well. Obviously, it's very random. Let's admit it, it's very random. Drew McIntyre is legit on the microphone, so he doesn't need a goddamn manager, let's be honest. But it was a very good segment. First of all, it was funny, and second of all, MVP got a little bit too comfortable, so we got this. And then we got one of the best looking claymores I've ever seen in my life. That was amazing. So yeah, man, people are still behind Drew McIntyre. Hopefully they can find more this kind of stuff for him, because as long as we're getting something entertaining with the guy, people are going to care. If Drew McIntyre is going to come out here every week and talk about how I'm going to beat Brock Lesnar at WWE WrestleMania, people are going to get bored. We need some funny crap, we need some entertaining stuff, we need some badass stuff from Drew McIntyre, and that was the biggest problem with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. That was a great segment. I'm not quite sure how the wrestling community feels about it, but I really liked it. We got Cedric Alexander versus Angel Garza. Before the match, he talked some trash on Rey Mysterio, Humberto Carrillo. Humberto attacks Angel Garza, but then we got the match, and obviously Angel Garza won. I'm happy that it wasn't a squash match, but man, Cedric Alexander flopped on the main roster. This man is so talented. I just don't understand why are these kind of people not being used properly. Cedric, Ricochet, Apollo, very talented people. Put them in a tag team or something like that. I'm not quite sure. Especially, like, Raw tag team division is horrible. Put Cedric Alexander in a tag team with, I don't know, Ricochet. He's not gonna win the championship anyway, so I'm not quite sure, man. Something needs to change. Like I've said, Angel Garza wins the match, and that's about it. We got Rhea Ripley talking about Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair, but Sarah Logan interrupts, and she isn't happy that Ripley thinks she can go to Raw and do whatever she wants. So she got squashed in a match. Yeah. Sounds about fair. After the match, Flair interrupts, and she didn't reveal whether she's going to face Ripley for the NXT Championship at WrestleMania, because Charlotte doesn't even know if it's going to be Ripley or Bianca Belair. And that's what I like. Logic on Monday Night Raw? Man, I'm shocked. Obviously, we do know that it's going to be Rhea Ripley, but it makes sense for Charlotte not to know. Assuming wrestling is real, of course. Do I really need to say that? We got Ricochet versus Bobby Lashley, not a match that I really wanted to see. Wasn't a bad match. Obviously, we knew that Ricochet is going to win because he's challenging Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. But I gotta admit, Ricochet's finisher looked phenomenal. The way Bobby sold it, the way Ricochet landed, oh my, this looked real. Like, imagine wrestling is real. That's the way it would look. Obviously, we know Ricochet is not winning the championship. Is that a problem? No, no one is going to win the championship from Brock Lesnar. We know that Drew McIntyre versus Brock is the money match. We know we're getting it, so why don't we use someone who's not a main eventer and establish the guy instead of using, I don't know, Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar, and that wouldn't achieve a damn thing. So I appreciate that Ricochet is getting the match. And people, we got this amazing Randy Orton segment. So he wanted to explain himself. Of course, people booed the crap out of the guy. Orton says that what he did to Edge hurt him more than it did Edge. Yeah, that makes sense. So apparently Randy Orton feels guilt, I guess. But what's the reason? Like I've said before, I do hope that WWE knows the reason. Anyway, out of nowhere, Matt Hardy interrupts, and that was a very good, passionate promo from Matt Hardy. He even acknowledged the history between Matt Hardy and Edge. You know, they were friends, they were traveling together, they had this dream of becoming legit WWE superstar. They invented the TLC match, and he even talked about the Lira stuff, you know, they were enemies and then they were kinda cool again. Man, that was a great promo. He talked about Edge retiring and how much it affected him. And it was absolutely disgusting what Randy Orton did to Edge. He took that away from Edge again. He cannot wrestle again in kayfabe. That's the story that they are trying to tell. Edge came back from retirement and now he's basically retired again. Randy Orton tried to hit him with an RKO. We got a brawl and then we got an RKO and of course this chair spot. And that was amazing. I liked the brawl, it looked kinda real. And man, that was possibly the last time we seen Matt Hardy in the WWE. We know his contract is ending, we know the guy is not happy for obvious reasons. It's absolutely disgusting the way WWE are treating Matt Hardy, man. Not only he deserves to be treated better, he earned it. It's shocking to me. Like, he has this amazing gimmick, but instead of that, they see him as this nostalgia act. And they're using the Hardy Boys theme song. Can you believe that I don't know, man. That sucks. Anyway, that was the last time we seen Matt Hardy, probably. What a segment. Hopefully the guy goes to AEW. Hopefully Jeff goes to AEW as well. I don't care at this point. But that's not the way the guy's career should end. As for Randy versus Edge, this rivalry is getting more interesting every week. We got Aleister Black versus Akira Tozawa. Aleister wins, LOL. He said he's going to face more legit competitors, but so far I'm not seeing it. Becky gets back to the ring and she wants a piece of Shayna Baszler. Yeah, I don't know. It would have looked a bit more legit if we didn't saw Becky Lynch that night and she actually sold the vampire stuff. And in the main event, we got Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, the Viking Raiders versus Seth Rollins, Murphy, and the Authors of Pain. Wasn't a bad match. Obviously, it was entertaining with the amount of talent we had. But, you know, Monday Night Show with a multi-man tag team match is not something I'm really excited about, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys feel the same way. What I did like was the ending. Murphy tapped out, but the referee didn't see it. We got a curb stomp, and the heel team won the match. And that was basically your episode of Monday Night Raw. I would give it 6.8 out of 10. A lot of cool moments. I just didn't like the ending. I wish the show ended with Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch, or Randy Orton and Matt Hardy. But like I've said, not a bad episode. Let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about this episode? The Great One, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.